Hello folks, welcome back to Reality Check with Arvind Swaminathan. Now you know Rahul Gandhi, when he went to the UK, he asked for help from the UK, the EU and the US to interfere in India because he said democracy is dead or dying. I mean, this is a Jaychand or Mir Jafar mentality. He can't do anything here, so he gets outside help to do it. And they are helping him. How? Well, Mr. Modi went to Tokyo recently, the G7 meet. And what a welcome he received. Everybody wants to know him. Biden wants his autograph. And then he goes to Australia. Papua New Guinea, the Prime Minister there touches his feet. In Australia, the Prime Minister there, Mr. Albanese, he refers to Modi as the boss. All this is filling him with so much hot air that now Modi believes I can do anything. And with that belief in his mind, he makes some very, very stupid mistakes or blunders. He's already made them in Karnataka. And boy has he paid. Why has the BJP paid? The Congress won with a 2-1 majority. What more do you want? But why? Why did it happen? Well, let's see what they did. Now all this happens within 4 to 6 weeks of the polling day. The day Karnataka went to elections or went to vote for the state assembly, he came out with this. Or Mr. Amit Shah came out with this, that he was removing the 4% reservations for Muslims. Then Amul said they are going to market their products, that is Amul products, in southern states. And Amit Shah endorses that. Of all the dopey things to do. Why? The moment he says he is going to abolish the 4% reservation for Muslims in Karnataka, within 2 hours every Muslim in the state knows about it. Their grapevine is highly efficient and very effective. Within 3 hours Delhi knows about it, and within 4 hours every Muslim in the country knows. Therefore, they are all perceived as being anti-Muslim. The whole Muslim community lines up against him. And it can be noted, 101% of them voted in favor of Congress. Now I say 101% with reason, good cause, good reason. Why? It's not just the Muslims in Karnataka, but those who came in from other places with Karnataka Aadhaar cards and voting cards. And they tipped the scales in favor of the Congress. And this happens in every election. This is the flying voter. Second, the day Amul says they're going into the southern states, and Amit Shah says, we endorse this. Now, Karnataka State Federation already has their own brand, Nandini. It's been struggling, they're trying hard to get it established. They probably got it established in Karnataka. Now, why are you trying to upset that? The moment you want to bring in Amul as a big competitor, it is seen as a move to wipe out Nandini and replace it with Amul. Nandini is Karnataka, Amul is from Gujarat. Every milk producer in Karnataka is now lined up against the BJP because they're seen as anti-Karnataka. And if the milk producers are against them, what about farmers? They're neighbors. It doesn't matter if they're Hindu, Muslim or outer Mongolian, but they're all lined up against him. You saw the result. The only places BJP may have scored would be the urban centres, not in rural areas. You see, the other main problem is not one part of their agenda was seen as being pro-Hindu. Nowhere. Wherever they've been, nowhere have they said we are pro-Hindu or for Hindus. Even the so-called removal of 4% reservation for Muslims is not seen as being pro-Hindu. It's seen as being anti-Muslim. Now this is a very, very fine line which a lot of people don't understand. But it's there. The pro-Muslim or anti-Muslim and the total disregard for Hindu sentiments. Congress, on the other hand, went overboard. They have been a Muslim party since 1947. Now again, a lie has been told for 70 odd years that first the Jansangh, then the Bharatiya Jansangh, and now the BJP are a communal or divisive party, which is totally untrue. In fact, the BJP is the only non-communal and it is the only secular party there is. The Congress is totally Muslim. If you look at their manifesto, you see in Telangana, they were going to have Muslim schools, Muslim colleges, Muslim universities, Muslim hospitals where only Muslims will be treated. Muslim boys or Muslim children would get 20 lakh each as student loans for higher studies. Nobody else? Why? The inequalities which this would have created. You see, in a Muslim hospital, no other community person could ever be even looked at by a doctor. He'd just be told, go somewhere else. And this is what Congress has been procreating all the time. If you look at whatever policies they come up with, it is always Hindus who have to tighten their belts and come under it, not Muslims. They're free to do what they want. Small wonder that there are 70 million Bangladeshis in India, all illegal migrants, but who have Aadhaar cards. Why do they come here? Because they get everything. They get preference in schools, universities, they get preferences or reservations in jobs. They can have as many wives as they want. Hindus are only allowed one. It's only now that triple talaq has been banned, so most people don't observe it. The Congress have made laws where Muslim organizations can take over anybody's land without any evidence of ownership. I mean, how does one call them secular and non-divisive? They are divisive. Yet the lie has been told, no, it's the BJP which is communal. And it's been told so often by so many congressmen that people now begin to believe it. Now this has never been countered by the BJP or anybody else. So it is believed as being the truth, even though nothing could be further from the truth. Now, what else? He's just so full of hot air. Plus, they go to all these state elections and they forget. What they do for India is for India, that's central government. What about local problems, local things, which people in those states require? They need redressal for so many things, but they're never even spoken of. Now add one other thing. Is there any local leadership in Karnataka, BJP? Any BJP leadership in Karnataka or Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Telangana or Andhra? No. Why? If you do not have local leadership, what do you expect? Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah know nothing about Karnataka's problems. And it's no good going there and saying, oh, we've done this for India. People there do not understand this. They want to know, how does it affect me personally? Now, we have to understand all this. Many laws have to be changed, some tweaked. Now, why did they win with such a margin in the general election in 2019? Well, Ram Mandir. It was seen as being a pro-Hindu movement. Hindus are very happy with it. They voted for the BJP. What did they do in Karnataka? What have they done anywhere else? Have they done anything to stop love jihad? You see the movie, the Kerala story. 32,000 girls from Kerala and around there have been sent to Syria after forced conversions. Now we hear 40,000 girls and women are missing from Gujarat. Where have they gone? Then we see or we hear in UP's Aligarh, schools and colleges forcefully converting not just girls but boys also towards Islam. Now, when Muslims do this, and Muslim organizations are permitted to do this, somebody has to come down with a very, very heavy hand to stop it. If they don't like it, tough. If they want to rebel, Pakistan and Bangladesh were created for you. You go there. Now we keep hearing about the Uniform Civil Code. Well, where is it? Why does it have to be done through the states? The states don't have a say in this. They have to implement it. If the center makes that law. Why? Remember, Nehru in the 50s brought in the Hindu Civil Code. It wasn't done via the states. It's a central topic and a central subject. Action is needed to bring that into proper perspective. Why? Hindus are suffering. They've been penalized. Their activities have been curtailed. What is the result? The whole demography of India has changed. In 1947, there were about 21 million Muslims in India, but 345 million Hindus or non-Muslims. By 2020, you now have, depending on if it's 15% of the population or 22%, you have 200 million or 308 million Muslims in this country. There's no break on them. There's no reason to break. There's no reason for them to stop producing children or kids all over the place. They do. The Muslim population has gone up 15 times. For every one in 1947, there are now 15 in India. Why? Why is this permitted? Why has no action been taken so far on that? Whereas non-Muslims, they've gone up from 330 million to 1.1 billion, which is just over 3 times, which means for every non-Muslim in India in 1947, there are only just over 3. They have understood their responsibility. Muslims don't seem to give a damn. Now, if you want Muslim-only schools and colleges and reservations for this, that and the other, you better go somewhere else. Because we are not going to have Sharia law here. If you want Sharia law, Pakistan and Bangladesh were created for you. There are 56 other states or countries in the world which are Islamic. Sharia law operates there. Go there. India has its own penal code. Live by it. Otherwise, leave. If you want to take over this country, there's going to be a civil war, and this is the way you're going. So please, Mr. Modi, Mr. Shah, and all you others, get your act together. Understand the problems of this country, internal problems. Yes, you may be doing a grand job outside the country. People keep giving you a pat on the back. Come back down to earth. Get some of that gas out of you. You better start taking action. Not just the Uniform Civil Code. I'm talking about the CAA and the NRC. Those have to be implemented. And wherever you find foreigners, that includes Rohingyas and Bangladeshis, send them back. Sorry, they shouldn't be here. Also, this freebie culture, I thought it had already been dealt with by the Supreme Court. It seems it still isn't. Because freebies are one heck of a pathway to total corruption. We've seen that in Delhi on a much smaller scale. You do that in every state and boy, you've got a big problem. How? Look, if there are 1 million refugees somewhere, so-called, whom you're giving free electricity, free water, free rations and so on. Look at it carefully. See the bank accounts, the bank account numbers, the telephone numbers. Out of 1 million or 10 lakh, you'll find that 3 or 4 lakh will have the same telephone number. There will be 2 or 3 bank account numbers which are shared by about 5 or 6 lakh people. Where's that money going? Into somebody's pocket, not into the hands of those people who you claim are receiving it. So that for every 1 lakh or 1 million, they claim to feed and therefore collect money for 3 million. Can you check? No. Why? Because you don't know where to look. Which is why this freebie culture has to stop. And if the Supreme Court takes so long to do anything, get rid of it. Get some other organization that does the job a lot quicker. As it is, Supreme Court judges and so on, how much do they work in a year? They spend more time on leave and enjoying themselves than they actually do working. Now, the other problem is they keep interfering where they shouldn't be. They don't seem to understand that, look, the government has its job to do, let them do it. You have your job to do your job. The fact that you're not doing it, that is why you'll find there are about 100 million cases still pending. There's 10 crore cases in the courts in this country which have been pending for God knows how long. Some of them go back 50 years. Why does that happen? Because judges and co are not doing their work honestly. It's about time that was sorted out. For everything, everybody goes to the Supreme Court. Why? Are they the government? No. Then why do they have the final word in everything? This never happened before. So why is it happening today? You want unconstitutional activity? Okay, the Constitution is full of them. For instance, according to the Constitution, you can teach Islam and Christianity anywhere. In schools, colleges, madrasas, churches, churchyards, church halls, anywhere. On public grounds, yes. But you're not allowed to teach Hinduism. Why? Why are Hindus being penalized? They are not allowed to learn about their own faith. Why? And you say all are equal? Isn't this total abuse of the Constitution? You keep bringing up the name Ambedkar, the father of the Constitution. Well, he envisaged reservations for the first 10 years or so after 1947, after which it should have been phased out within the next 5. What has happened? We still have reservations, not 10%, but 50 or 60% in many instances. We don't want quality workers. We're driving them out. You have a look, most of the huge organizations or multinationals, how many of them are actually headed by Indians or people of Indian origin? Why? There's nothing for them here. Previous Congress government drove them out in their thousands. 30% of the millionaires in Silicon Valley are of Indian origin. 35% of the scientists in NASA are of Indian origin. Now some of them have come back, and those who are still working in the Indian Space Research Organization and in DRDO, they've made a mockery of American defense systems. The Americans don't know which way to look. Where are their replacements coming from now? Those jobs are being offered here in India. And people don't understand this. They don't want to know. The Congress doesn't want this to happen. No. Why? They don't want indigenous production of defense material. Why? You get it from outside, you get backhanders or corruption or commissions. Congress is known as corrupt or commission governments. It has been known for that for decades. And I don't understand why people even still look at Congress as a party. And the BJP is sworn against corruption. But you're not giving them any help. You see, they've been there for so many decades, it's difficult to root it out. But they need your help. They can't do it sitting in the opposition benches. They cannot do it with a minority in Rajya Sabha. And if they don't get elected in the states, they don't get their candidates in Rajya Sabha. Not just that. The BJP had better start pulling their fingers out and understand one thing. There have been so many raids all over the country. So much cash has been recovered. So many black money deals have been recovered. How many have been closed and how many are in prison? Why not? These are the actions which people are looking for. Because unless action is taken against these people who are corrupt, who have been looting the country, nothing happens. They're still back in command, they're still doing it, and they're still looting. For instance, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are still on bail. National Herald case. How many years has that been dragging on? Why? There are so many other corruption charges against so many politicians. Why are they not being concluded? Why do you just go so far and then let it rest? Until the BJP starts taking action, closing those cases and putting the corrupt behind bars, people are not going to believe. The Ram Mandir euphoria has faded. What's the next thing? There are many other things like the Uniform Civil Code. Now it doesn't take very much. There is already a Hindu Civil Code. Tweak it a little. Change the word Hindu to Indian. That's all you need. These are the things which will be perceived as being for India and making everybody equal. Which is something the Congress government has never done. They don't believe in it. They don't believe in equality. They try to make India their colony. We don't like that. Well, folks, maybe we'll go into some of these things in a little more detail next time. For instance, the Waqf Act. I mean, I for one do not want to see India as an Islamic country. But that's what it's becoming. And it will become that under Congress rule. So please remember, Hindus start voting in en masse for your bloc. And the floating Bangladeshi voter who keeps going from state to state, do something to stamp him out and send him back to Bangladesh and make sure he doesn't come back. Find out who's giving them these ID cards, whether it's Aadhaar or voter cards or PAN cards, and give them living hell. Make sure that such things are stopped, and stopped fully. Thanks, folks. I hope you like this one. Please subscribe, push the like button, send it on to your friends and your groups, to their groups. Ask them to send it to their groups, their friends, their relatives. Because these are important factors. I mean, people have to understand that all these guys have to go to grassroots level. Why did BJP win, for instance, in UP? They have a strong base and very strong leadership, decisive leadership. Where else? In Gujarat, yes. Thank you, folks. And remember what I said. Send it on to your friends, your relatives. Ask them to send it to their groups and so on. Ciao.